Welcome to Vietnam Discovery. Now we're in the mountainous, remote region of Mẫu Sơn. Now it's the rooftop of northeastern Vietnam. Now the elevation is an average of 1,500 meters, and the majority of people that live here are from the Dao ethnic minority people group. Now it can be very hard to live here due to the remoteness of the area, the steep and windy roads, and also the cold climate. But we're going to discover this area, so come and join me.
I'm on my way to Quay Tang Hamlet, one of the villages high on the Mẫu Sơn mountain that are inhabited by the Dao people. The Dao people like living high on the mountain. They don't mind the harsh climate. It's also exactly because of this harsh environment that their way of living and working is very different from ethnic groups in lower lying areas.
Chào cô chú. Em muốn nước. Chú cho em xin nước.
Vâng. Ở đây không có nước, chỉ có rượu thôi.
Triệu Chan Lee's family has lived in Quay Tang Hamlet for many generations. Like other Dao families, they are living on the rugged mountains. Their livelihood is tied to the forest. It's cold all year round on the Mẫu Sơn mountain, so the Dao people here consume alcohol to keep warm. The locals started the tradition of making wine generations ago. Triệu Chan Lee's family is one of the best known winemaking families here.
So up here in the mountains, you can feel the biting cold wind. Now the people up here have learnt to drink lots of alcohol to drive that cold away. And one of the most special liquors is the Mẫu Sơn mountain wine. Now it's made from the river streams, the mountain streams, the water of that mixed with rice and corn. And so I'm going with the wife of Lee to collect the leaves for the first stage of that.
Miss Nay often goes into the forest to collect leaves. She needs lots of leaves to make the special yeast used in Mẫu Sơn wine. The winemakers here say that the leaf yeast is the secret to creating the distinct taste of the drink.
So currently, we're perched on the side of a mountain like mountain goats, and it's really difficult to get these little leaves from up in the high places and to use a big knife to cut them, but I think the difficulty of getting the leaves is what makes the wine taste so good. That was an amazing experience. Finding the leaves to make the yeast for the wine, that was pretty amazing. Going into a forest, and it just seemed like she was randomly cutting off every branch that she could find, but turned out later there was a mix of over 15 different leaves, and so I thought that was amazing that she could just walk through the forest and find the right leaf to cut off. And that was amazing because the terrain was so steep, and she was just climbing up and taking what she needed, and so that was really amazing.
After a few hours of collecting leaves, Miss Nay and I head home to dry the leaves. I wonder how long the leaves must be dried before they can be made into yeast.
Bình thường thì phơi 2 ngày, 2-3 ngày mới kho.
Fortunately, Miss Nay always stores a lot of dried leaves in her kitchen attic. So today, I will have a chance to experience firsthand how the leaves are turned into the miraculous yeast.
Đến ơi, cái này trộn cái giá xuống cho có giá làm men nhá. Giờ cho cháu thử đi. Đá thì 1 tiếng mới được đấy, đá mạnh mới được.
Wow.
Cái lá nó thì miền như cái vụn mới làm được men.
So I can sense that once you get a steady rhythm going, then that's when the most work happens, the best work. And it's a heavy log, so my leg's getting pretty tired here. But I guess that's what you've got to do to make sure the powder's just right.
Đâu rồi?
Yep, rồi. So, to brew the Mẫu Sơn wine, there are a few main ingredients, primarily corn and water from the mountain streams over 1,000 meters high. Now, the secret ingredient is the leaves that we collected earlier, and this forms the yeast in the mix. From what I know, that looks just and feels just like yeast in the West. That's all, manufactured by machine. But to see that we made that out of a mortar and pestle, it's pretty amazing. So these yeast balls are made from 15 different traditional herbal medicine leaves such as the 30 root leaf and betel leaves. Now after we've cut them, dried them, and then milled them down into a fine paste, we mix them with water to make these. And then we dry them again for 10 days, and these ones are finished and ready to make wine.
By the time we have finished making the yeast, the corn was also done. So next, Miss Nay and I will ferment the corn with the yeast.
Chín rồi đấy, bụng ra cái này thì làm lấy men sớm làm rượu, ủ cái rượu 20 ngày nấu. Chỗ này 2 cái men mới được cái chó này.
Because we don't have 20 days for this corn to cook, luckily, Gournay has already made a batch. So I'm going to go over there and we'll see if we can catch the first drop of wine. Okay. This oven is so hot. There's so much smoke, it just makes your eyes water all the time. You know, in fact, the whole process is so much harder. Right down from making the yeast to brewing the wine, it's not mechanized like it is in the West with the big factories that can do everything in a matter of weeks. This is much more traditional and much more original. So it's a good experience to be a part of, to see the length that they go through just to make things like their wine. So the process is really quite amazing. They have a metal wok here to stop the wooden barrel getting burnt. Now this wooden barrel is the one that's holding the corn and water, which is making the wine. And this other metal wok on the top, that's suppressing all the hot gas, which is actually turning into wine down this tube on the other side. And they can use the water on top for other purposes like cleaning or drinking. So really it's multitasking. I'm just constantly amazed by, the ingenuity of a system like this that can do so many things. So we'll come back later tonight and check on it and see how it goes, see if we have Mẫu Sơn wine.
In the meantime, I've decided to warm myself up a bit by chopping wood. It will take many hours until the alcohol starts flowing out. The fire will surely consume lots of wood. Luckily, I have my little friends here to help me. Without them, I don't know when I will finish this tough task. The sun has gone down. I have to return to check on the wine. I love sitting by the fire like this. It feels warm and so different from what I've experienced before.
So while we wait for the wine to cook, there's so much to do. I've got some potatoes cooking at the moment, and you've got to make sure the fire's always kept up really well. Ow! Oh man, ow, it's really hot. It might be cooked though. Yeah, I think it's on its way. Guess there's only one way to find out. Yeah, this one's done. Time for a snack while we're waiting. Wow! So these are really sweet. Being cooked in the fire and the natural sweetness combines to make, it's really tasty. I think it's better than potato chips. Much more natural. And I can hear the wine trickling down, so I think in a little while we'll have a full barrel of wine. And they said earlier today they already caught 60 litres of wine, so that's a lot. So I think this wine will last them a long time. Whoa, that's really fresh. I've never had hot wine like this before. Yeah, and so the wine is just so fresh and it's got that fruity flavour from Mẫu Sơn. And I think that's from the special leaves we collected, the assorted leaves that make the yeast, that give it a special flavour. So it's a special moment. After seeing the whole method and after all our efforts to put this wine together, it's an enjoyment to taste. So it's 6 a.m. in the morning and I'm here and we're going to try and catch some piglets for lunch. Now today is a celebration of last year, so they're celebrating all the good things that happened in preparation for the new year. So we're going to try and catch a piglet. When we tried to catch our little piggy, I never thought they could move so fast, a little fat piglet, but they could run fast and they're pretty strong. So we finally cornered it and I grabbed it by the legs and it was really strong and I thought it was trying to bite me. Yeah, so that was fun. So the salt she's cutting up now, it can be used in the celebrations today for lunch, or she can salt it and hang it up over the fire for next year's celebrations. So to preserve the pork, we're going to mix it with some salt in this tub, and that way it can last a very long time, giving the meat for the whole year round. I'm feeling hard to breathe. So it's been a really amazing experience, seeing the way the community and family gets together. They're cutting the pig together, you know, they're looking after each other, and it's a real community experience. Like, I can always relate it back to Christmas for us. You know, we do things together and as a family to show that we love each other, we care for each other, and that life is about family. So it's definitely a good experience brewing the wine, making the pork, and I think I've experienced authentic Zhao people culture. So I'm now with the head of the family, Mr. Lee, and we are welcoming in the two shamans who are standing behind me. Now they are very important to this time of year because they will play a very vital ritual in the years to come. So they will be praying good prayers and driving out the bad demons from this family so that they'll have good luck for this year to come. So now we'll go to the house.
Zhao families often start the year's end feast on the 25th day of the 12th lunar month. Each family in the family tree hosts a feast on a different day. The Zhao people pay close attention to year's end offerings. The altar is decorated with different colors and just paper, but only in moderation. The food tray includes pork and chicken and, of course, wine. The ordinary Zhao people don't carry out the offering ritual themselves. They invite a shaman or a village elder to do that task. In front of the whole family, the shaman performs the ritual to drive away the bad luck from the old year and to wish for health, peace, luck, good weather and bountiful crops in the new year.
It was much like, Christmas or a New Year's Eve celebration when everyone came together to celebrate the passing year and to celebrate the good things that came, the bad things, but really, life, you've got to take it what it gives you, and I thought it was really special to see the way they got together and celebrated together, and they helped out, it wasn't one family preparing for someone else, everyone prepared the food together and they could all enjoy it together, so. So up here in the cold mountain air, I've experienced the way to make wine traditionally. I've celebrated the sending off of the last previous year. But most of all, I've seen that up here, it's about the community spirit. Everything's about family. And it's also about maintaining tradition. So I hope you can join us for another episode of Vietnam Discovery. We'll see you next time. Chúc mừng năm mới ạ.